Hey gang, Life22. It's April 12th. For those devout followers of the show, today's my birthday. I don't know, I don't go around like telling everybody I meet, you know what I mean? I mention it here or there. Had a couple White Claws today. Today's my birthday, you know? So that's... Your birthday is a perfect excuse for a lot of things. But overall, today was actually pretty well. I had a lot of stress going on last few days at work, and still had to deal with it today, but not as bad as it was yesterday. Got out of work, handled a few things for some clients. I started up jiu-jitsu again. So, as most of you probably remember, or from the previous few episodes, I'm entered in a jiu-jitsu tournament on the 23rd of April. So any of my devout followers, you're more than welcome to come watch me either win or get my ass kicked. I've been getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I've been doing kettlebell workouts for 5 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of kettlebell workout, and 15 minutes of piano every morning to keep myself sharp, in shape. I've been cutting this stuff down significantly, so, except for today, because today's a perfect excuse, because it's my birthday. Yeah. So, I feel like I am becoming in peak physical shape. I'm Farmer Tan White, which most of you probably expected, but I've been like shedding pounds and putting on muscle. I started my class I was taking at JCC has ended the 5th of April, and today's the 12th, so it's the first Tuesday past that class ending. It was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I started up my jiu-jitsu schedule not on every other Friday and Saturdays, and I switched it back over to Tuesday, Thursday for an hour, and then every other Friday is still an existent thing for the advanced combatives, which is great. So shout out to AKT and all that they do. We are doing... and me and the kids still might go on Saturday classes. So we're going to be getting a lot of healthy workouts in, a lot of self-defense, a lot of training. And Quinn is pretty adamant that she wants to do the tournament. So that it'll be good. I think it'll be good for. I think Lachlan needs another year or two of jiu-jitsu. He's still like that whiny little baby boy that you have, and so like I'm going to send him into a jiu-jitsu tournament. He's going to get like punched by the first kid. He's just start crying, and it's going to be like a whole ordeal. So Quinn, I don't see that coming from her so much. So I think she's ready for it. I think Lachlan has some growing and some learning to do. So we'll play it by ear. And it's the end of the night. It's been a long day. Let's see here. I had a lot of good news today. It was a relatively good birthday, right? Like anybody. And a lot of people are like, why are you doing a podcast? Because it's your birthday. Like, well, because this is a channel started about filming my life. And so, screw you guys. It's my birthday. So, that's a good excuse, huh? Yeah. Let's see here. I got out of jiu-jitsu, and I looked at my phone, and I saw that I had passed my 608 license, which means I now have my refrigerant license, so I can buy refrigerant, and through the EPA, I can work on air conditioning systems, and I don't have to call in subcontractors and things like that, or I don't have to use different workaround methods and things that the EPA would allow me to do, but I couldn't buy refrigerant, and I wasn't supposed to do other certain things, which I didn't do. So now I can do that. I passed all. I have my universal, so I passed all 3 types plus the core, and I heard that news today. I was one of 2 in the class of 6. Class of 7, 6 took the test. I was one of 2 to get the universal, and 1 got type 1, and which means he passed his core in his type 1, and the other 3 have to retake the test, which, hey, good luck to them. I anything that they need. Those guys, they're all great guys. I'm kind of sad that they didn't get it, and but I'm glad that it only cost them like $7 or $20 or something to retake the test. So, yeah. So that was good news tonight. I'm trying to think. I got thank you to all the people out there in Facebook world who wished me a happy birthday when I was in college, and up until like 5 years ago, I used to just like go through and like everyone and said a thank you friend, thank you this person. So typically there's a very few people that will get a thank you from me now, with like thanks mom, thanks sis, thanks all, and some key people that maybe that get caught my eye. But for the most part, like there was like, I was telling the missus, there was a buddy's ex-wife who sent me a happy birthday, like, and I'm like, what kind of, it's like an auto thing, like, I forgot we were friends on Facebook. Like, it was one of those, like, I've met you once, it was one of those, like, why would you wish me a happy birthday? I haven't ever wished you a happy, it must be an auto thing, right? Like, so I typically don't go back through and do that anymore. I really don't have the time to, so sorry, but thank you for all the birthday wishes for all you folks out there. And special shout out to Mr. Lieberman, one of my favorite teachers in high school. He was in school. He was my 7th grade, so my middle school science teacher. Taught us about genetics and like ribosomes and. I'm trying to think, like the year before was learned about like chloroform and shit. Not chloroform. What's it? Cytoplasm. That was the year before, right? Yeah. It all blends together, but I remember like genome splitting and how why you have like why certain people have blue eyes and certain people have brown eyes, and how the genetic matrix works and all that stuff. And it was kind of very interesting, stuff. And Mr. Lieberman was one of the coolest, most supportive teachers I ever had. And, his daughter was a year behind me in school, or 1 or 2 years behind me in school. And his son was a year ahead of me in school. And so I was like plopped right in the middle, and he was just this awesome, awesome teacher. So shout out to Mr. Lieberman, because like, he popped up on like my friends, like people you may know list on Facebook, like maybe a year ago, 6-8 months ago, and I friend requested him and he accepted it, and then all of a sudden today's my birthday and I see like a hey, happy birthday, big guy, like thanks man, appreciate it. So it was one of those like, that was a good pick me up today. One of the people at the city building left, knew that I like special dark chocolate, and it all accumulated in her candy dish, and she, instead of topping it off and burying them all at the bottom, she left them there for me to steal the rest of them, like all 8 pieces of special dark Hershey's chocolate today. So that was nice. And yeah. So had a lot of good cool things happen. And then a friend of mine who I worked with as an alderman got his job back at his place of employment today. He lost his job. Me and him were working on an investigation with some corruption, and he had some personal issues happen, and it took out. It caused him to suspend him from his job, and during that time period, the people we were investigating took over the bookwork of where we were investigating, and so they kind of actually deleted a lot of the accounting work, and it pinned a lot of stuff on him. So I'm grateful that he's back at his job, and that I found that out today after work, and so and there'll be more to come on that. I mean, we've been working. It's funny how like just stuff gets thrown at you in life, and you know what I mean. Like you just get different government agencies that'll like come at you, but it's like you're working with like the federal government on certain, like we did a lot of stuff, man. Like there's a lot of different investigations and stuff that I did. It just like you submit reports and you do stuff like that, and it was kind of interesting. But there'll be more to come on that. I'm not going to really go any further into that, but it was nice to see that justice is starting to shine through the dark clouds that had loomed over a friend's head that was working with catching bad people. Like, that was great. And, geez, nothing horrible happened literally until I got the kids out of jiu-jitsu, until like the kids got out of jiu-jitsu and I looked at my phone and there was a celebrity death beeper, which is a site I subscribe to. So when famous people die, I just get an email. And Gilbert Godfrey died today. So, shout out to Gilbert Godfrey. I feel like we were cut from a similar cloth. We were both very... I want to say I'm probably not cut from the same spool as Gilbert as I am cut from the same... I was cut from a similar spool to like Robin Williams, I feel. But Gilbert was... I mean, I think Adam Carolla said it in one of his stand-up comedy specials, was that Gilbert Godfrey was the guy that, like, a month after 9/11 was making 9/11 jokes. And, like, that's kind of falls in, like, my realm of, like, I have no couth, like, with my humor. So, like, somebody's parent dies and I'm like, hey, how's your ma? Like, full right, no, like, we're at the funeral. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Kevin's way of breaking the ice, Anyways, but that was the one downtrodden thing today. And, for dinner, in between my jiu-jitsu and when the kids went, I got to have some handcrafted burgers by yours truly, from Shagbark Farms, a local cattle farm in the area, and it was some really good meat. I never had any other beef before, and that was some good beef. It was good ground beef, and I got to hand make it myself with some fresh extra virgin olive oil, and just got to make those patties together, and I cooked them on the propane grill outside, and the kids all got burgers and stuff, and except for little Lennox, he wanted his hot dog, and he peed on the potty today. So there was a lot of moving forward today, a lot of good stuff, and hopefully this sets a good trend for the rest of my years. Today's the first day of of being 34, right? Like, oh, I'm a puppy, a lot of people will say. But hey, I'm 1 year before 35, and I had a pretty good freaking day. So. And I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about myself in this upcoming jiu-jitsu tournament, to the point that I didn't wear a shirt for my podcast. So yeah, they're pretty fucking good about myself. So, well, I'm gonna go take the dog for a walk. I'm gonna hop in the shower. I am going to put the chickens to bed. And I'm going to get a good night's sleep. So I can get up early in the morning, practice my piano, practice a workout with my kettlebell, do my stretches, go to work, give it my all, and continue day 2 of being 34. So, Kevin, Life22, don't forget to like, subscribe, send your hate mail, and to the people that comment below, which we had one during 2 videos ago, the last video, 3 videos ago, that there isn't a standing invitation. Anybody who wants to come on the show, anybody who wants to debate me, anybody who wants to, I'll fight in the comment section with you. I'll bring up your comments on the thing. And as soon as the invite was open, the person disappeared. It's funny. It's funny how that happens. And it's funny how that, like, those types of people also, like, don't have that, you know, don't use a username that is like, you know what I mean? Like, you Google Life22, you find me. You find me, you find who I am, you find like, but you can find my social. It's a pretty open world out there. So I mean, I know you'll still find my cell phone number. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you need to get in touch with me. You got me, even in my comments. You know, other people, they hide behind their masks or usernames or their VPNs. So catch you guys on the next one, and thanks again for all the birthday wishes and all that you guys do.